In this video, I'm going to be going over how Google's AI is secretly draining your ad budget and how you can protect your ad spend as a contractor in 2025. Now, if you're one of those contractors that tries to run their own Google ads, or they've hired a company to take care of that for you and you don't really know what's going on because your ad costs have jumped overnight, well, it's just Google's helpful little AI tool that's draining your ad budget. And it's what we call the hidden AI tax. So in this video, we'll cover 5 different ways that it's doing it, and of course, how you're going to prevent that. Let's jump right into the video. Now, the very first thing that's happening is an invisible bid war that you know nothing about. So what you have is you have robots that are essentially running your auction. So you want to look at it like this. You have 2 machines, and they're both in an auction, and both are told you need to win the job at any cost. So they outbid each other penny for penny until your budget, well, is completely drained. So we had a roofing contractor. We were looking through their ad budget and looking through just kind of auditing what they had going on their account because they were doing it themselves. Well, they had budgeted at $40 for a lead cap, right? Well, Google's AI would spend $39.99 all day long, and they just did this over and over and over again, not 1,000 times, but until basically the budget was vanished and there were no conversions. So what happens was, got wasted clicks, and they had 3 to 5 fewer jobs booked that month. And on top of that, obviously not getting returned back because they're not booking jobs. So the way we talked to them about was essentially setting hard bid caps, and you just have to monitor your ad account daily. Now, that's something that as a business owner, especially if you're running a contracting business, you don't have time to monitor Google ads daily, right? Unless you're getting up at like 5 a.m. and that's what you're working on. You should be passing that off to somebody internally in your business or marketing company, kind of like ours. All right. The next thing that AI is quietly doing is what we call the vanishing click. Now, this is going over for not only Google ads, but search engine optimization as well, which honestly, those two kind of go hand in hand nowadays when it comes to Google advertising. So take a look at this. So one, AI overview is stealing clicks. So what it is essentially AI overviews now answers whatever homeowners questions they have at the top of Google before they even reach your website. So what it's like is like having a little helper that intercepts a customer before they make it to your business. They find them on the sidewalk and they're like, hey, what's your question? They answer the question and then they send them home before they even call your business, right? So they're getting answers without getting a hold of you. Now, what happened here was essentially a roofer, another account that we audit, right? We audit probably 5-10 a week, where they lost 28% of their clicks after the AI summaries happened, right? They didn't change anything. Nothing was bad happening. It's just AI overview was being implemented in their market, and they were losing about 28% of the clicks that come to their business, which essentially would be fewer calls, and of course, your crews are just sitting there idly because you don't have jobs coming in your business. Now, here's a solution to this, and this really goes for SEO as well, because when we take over clients' accounts for marketing and advertising, local SEO foundations are like the first thing that we do. We make sure those are in place because they're going to help your Google ads. They'll even essentially help, in a way, they're going to help Facebook ads. But you have to have a solid foundation on your website and your Google business profile for that to be optimized. So what you want to be able to do is, one, all those questions that are being answered in AI overviews, you want to bring those in organically if you're not paying for the click, right, as far as that's concerned. So you want to add answers to the questions that people are asking on your website and on your Google business profile. They have frequently asked questions on your Google business profile. You should have it on your website. You should have good content on there being updated constantly. So that way, when people go to your website or Google is using AI overview to pull information to answer their question, they're pulling it from your website, which takes a huge amount of authority building in online, on the digital space, and in your digital presence for your business. So you have to do those things in order to have AI overview pull from your stuff. So this is not as much as this is not like a quick fix, but you got to start answering those questions people are asking. So AI overview will pull them from your website. Now, the next thing that Google's AI is doing is what we call clone creative syndrome. Now, what does this actually mean? Because it's a mouthful to say. Essentially, AI ads are all sounding the same when they write their ads for you. So you want to think of it like this. Let's say you're showing up to do a bid, and every person there is wearing the same exact thing, and you're saying the same exact thing, and nobody's actually standing out. So you essentially sound like everybody else. So there's no way for you to actually say, oh, we're better than everybody else, or having copy that differentiates you from the market or identifies who your ideal customer are so they can relate and click on your ad. So what happened was a plumbing company came to us and they were like, hey, could you look at our Google ads? We have somebody internally running them. I said, yep, no problem. So what we did was they had AI writing pretty much all the ads. So what we did was help them go through and rewrite the human side, write it as though a human wrote it, and what differentiated them. So we tested that between the AI ad copies. They got 32% more calls and 18% less cost per click because they differentiated themselves with human copy, not just AI. So it's not just bad copy, right? The AI does. It's homeowners forgetting your name when it's time to actually hire your company. So if you're going to pay for marketing advertising, you want to make it count and maximize every opportunity. So if you're doing this yourself or you have a marketing company do this, make sure number one, they're not just letting AI do everything, but two, write at least 2 of the headlines yourself. Okay, use specifics that AI can't identify on their own based on what they see on your site, like jobs completed in the last year, average response times, years in business, and then let AI test one headline, but don't give it all 3 at the same time. Make sure that you are being specific and you're identifying yourself different than everybody else. That way you're going to win and you're not going to sound like everybody else. Now, the next big impact that Google AI has on your Google ads is your quality score. And it's basically on steroids when it comes to AI. So here's what's happening. AI is going to judge your website instantly. Okay, instantly. So you want to think of it like this. Think of it like a bouncer at a club. If your page takes way too long to load up, you're not getting in the club. They're going to bounce you right out. The potential customer that goes on your website is going to bounce off and go to somewhere else, right? Or Google's just not going to serve your ad up to somebody. And it's just not going to work. So what we did was we had a plumbing company that we were working with, and their CPC jumped from like $2.40 to like $3 a click, which I know doesn't sound like a lot, but when it compounds over time, it makes a difference. But it was an instant jump. We're like, hey, what's going on? Well, come to find out, they had a chat feature on their website. So we just did what's made it load up slower, or it impeded the progress of somebody finding the answers they needed. So got rid of that, and it reduced it back down within a couple of days, and actually went down to I think we're down to $1.80 per click, which is for plumbing. In some markets, it's pretty cheap. So the big thing for you is, one, keep landing page fast, keep it simple. Okay. If you're just running, sometimes we'll run ads to a landing page only, and it goes for that service. Or if they have a really good website, which usually if we're building your website, it's really good. It's designed to convert even with Google ads. We'll do one headline, right? Proof you can do the job, and a clear call to action or a button or a form, and take anything out that could slow your website down. So no fancy videos unless it's optimized. Keep it simple. So the second they land on the landing page, they know immediately at the top in the hero section what you do, who you do it for, and then here's how you get a hold of me. Like, you can either fill out this form if that's what you want, or here's a call button with my phone number. Boom, super simple. You can knock it out real quick, and people are going to call you. And of course, it's going to help increase your quality score to get more of those clicks when you're paying for Google ads. Now, the last thing that Google AI is draining your ad budget with is what we call the PMax black box. Now, what is PMax? PMax is Performance Max. It's a new Google ad strategy that they've developed, kind of like, it's very interest-based targeting, where they're doing display ads, a combination of search ads, combination of intent-based, all these different things, kind of like Facebook, not really, but all these different things to help get your business in more different places to try to drive not only brand awareness, but also leads into your company. So what's happening here? Google's AI is spending your money wherever it wants, and it doesn't tell you where it's spending it. Right? It's like handing a random person your credit card and be like, hey, go be a personal shopper and go shop and hope that you buy the things that I need, right? It's just like, here's my money and hopefully you get what I need, right? It's wild that you would do that. So we had a HVAC company. They were spending about $10,000 a month. And once again, this is another Google audit account we did. And 42% on targeting the absolute wrong customers, right? So they had a Performance Max campaign set up. It was going after people that weren't even in their market, or people that already knew their business name, or repeat customers, and they were targeting completely wrong people. So half that budget, like $3,000 to $5,000, was gone because it was targeting the wrong people with the PMax campaign. So what you got to be careful of is, one, separating your brand searches from your search campaigns to make sure that, while yes, you do want to run ads that are branded, because you don't want other people running ads against your brand, to make sure you're still getting those people in the door. But when it's targeting the wrong people who aren't even in your market, you want to make sure that you're not losing that money and you're keeping everything separated and you can track it very easily, which again comes back to the very first thing of just being able to monitor your Google ads daily, which you should hire a company to do that. I don't care if it's mine or not, but you should essentially hire somebody to make sure that they're monitoring Google ads daily, because, well, you need to in order to optimize. So how do you fight back against Google's AI who keeps changing up the game on you? Well, we built a little fight back playbook for you, a little checklist that we've been using with our clients to help make sure that we reduce wasted ad spend, which since we've pretty much implemented this playbook, we've gone down at least 20-30% of wasted ad spend in the last 3 months. So let's give you the checklist here. You can either feed this out to your Google Ads person if you have somebody internally, or once again, just making sure that if you're doing these things yourself, that you're going over that. So number one, we're gonna give you a checklist on how to control your ad schedule to make sure that you're not wasting budget, and AI is not wasting your budget, right? You got to feed it the right information. Second thing on there will be showing you how to separate campaigns properly. Next, feeding AI books jobs. And what we mean by this is you can feed AI data back people, and we got it in the checklist, shows you how to do it. Feedback to AI what kind of people are actually booking jobs, right, or closing jobs. So it will go out and find more people like that. We'll go through how you can control 2 headlines at a time, so you're not giving AI too much information, give them the right amount so it'll test the right headlines. Reviewing your search terms, testing landing pages, and of course, leaving a little bit of a budget buffer so you don't drain all of your Google ads at one time. Now, if you want this free checklist, obviously check down below this video, download the free checklist. There will be a link in there. You can take it, keep it, run with it, do whatever you want. And that way you can go optimize your Google ads and fight back against AI who keeps draining your ad budget. Now, Google ads is not the only thing you should be using to scale and grow your business and drive more leads in, or it shouldn't be the primary factor of leads. You should be using it to help grow the business when you have foundational pieces in place. So check out the video on the screen. It shows how to build out. It's got the local SEO playbook. It'll show you step-by-step how you should build out your online digital presence. So when you do run those Google ads, you're going to optimize and be able to scale and grow without wasting a bunch of money.